Hello world. Today's keynote is filmed outside. And the reason for that is that I want to talk a little bit about locations. I want to talk a little bit about places you get inspired, what my good friend Cameron Manwaring calls the shower brain. Because while we all want new things to happen, we all want new ideas, we want new snaps of insight, the chances of us getting that by sitting at our desks, same environment, same people, pretty low. So you need to take a change of scenery. Now, what this means depends on where you are. If you live in downtown Tokyo, then getting to something like this might be tricky. But if you're like me and you are privileged enough to live out near nature, now I lived in Copenhagen for many years. That was not that easy, but now here on Bornholm, it is pretty easy. Then going out into nature gives you excellent impressions of new things, excellent new sensory experiences. Your mind kind of recharges in a different way. And psychologically speaking, this putting things in the background and getting new stimulus also leads to your brain working on some of these things in the background. So what does this have to do with innovation? What does getting out into nature have to do with innovation? Or not nature necessarily, just a change of scenery. Well, it has a lot to do with it, because it means that you get to have new perspectives. You get to have new thoughts pop up. Even a simple thing like seeing a flower or looking at the trees, or in this case, hearing the ocean, which you can hear in the background. That sparks new thoughts, that sparks new ideas. And if you're having conversations, now I'm looking backwards so I'm not tripping over while filming this. And if you're having conversations, if you're doing a walk and talk with several people, then doing it outside instead of in a conference room. Yes, you don't have the whiteboards. Yes, you don't have the markers and the screens and the Post-its, which are nice. They are nice. But you have something else. You have different stimuli. And I've done brainstorm walks in the Saudi desert at midnight in the moonlight. One of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And also from an innovation standpoint, and a brainstorming standpoint, very, very productive. Now this, it's not that I have anything particular that I'm trying to kind of figure out right now. Well, that's not strictly true. I wanted to find a way to use some outdoor time to film a keynote. And since we were out here, I said, I'm going to take a couple of minutes and I'm going to film this. And I'm going to keep it short because the point is already made. I just want you guys to see the ocean when it pops up in a moment. And just the trip I just did right now, which was basically walking from inside the forest to on the beach. And in a moment, I'm going to come up and you're going to see the Baltic Sea. Even a simple thing like that, a simple change of scenery like that, sparks new ways of thinking, because there's a difference between being in the forest and being by the ocean. There's a difference between looking at trees, the occasional summer house, looking at wooden paths, and looking out at the sea, with nothing on the horizon but water, with the sound of the waves and the clouds picturesquely forming in the background. That's a very different feeling, and both of those are very different feelings from sitting in my office. Now, I enjoy all three, but if you have the chance, even if it's not the ocean, even if it's not forests, even if it's just a walk downtown, then I advise you, try it. I'm not that good at it. My good friend Paul Boulencha is one of the best people I know at going into new environments. He's also one of the most creative people I know and the best brainstormer I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. But part of that is because he's constantly seeking new environments, constantly going out into new places, seeking out new things. So if you want to be innovative, then one way of doing it, well, that's just moving around a lot.